One other topic that is usually mentioned when people talk about analytics, new age analytics, big data is, hey, we have BI capabilities. What's this data science capability, right? How is it different from traditional business intelligence? In BI, you decide which data will be relevant for your business, and you want reporting and analytics and BI capabilities on that. Data science is exactly the opposite. You run algorithms of all kinds, successful and unsuccessful, to find that nugget that helps you find a model to run your business well. So you might run n number of algorithms and find, a majority of them not useful, but you might find a few nuggets which actually help you find the right ones for your business. So data science is more geeky in that sense, where you're actually finding the right pattern data or the right science that is already there existing in your data that you could actually use, or the right analytics that could be surfaced to help your data, to help your business grow further, right? So that's the classic difference between BI and data science. Data scientists unleash algorithms on data to find decision and predictive models, right? Typical data scientists have a statistician or the statistics background, and a typical BI analyst has reporting capabilities, reporting tool knowledge, or business reports knowledge, regulatory compliance kind of reporting knowledge. A data scientist of today is actually going to look to statistics and algorithms that exist to machine learn when scenarios happen in business and adopt to those kinds of things. So the data scientists of today's world are going to be totally much more different than the BI people that existed in the past. At this point, I would like to introduce a poll question. And once again, you'd have choices. And if you could actually pick a choice, the result would be shown in like 30 seconds after you choose.
I'm going to close the poll now and share the answers. 43% says CTO and CIO, 31% says heads of line of business, 22% head of analytics, and 5% says other.
So the question was, big data analytics initiatives need to be driven from the top. Who do you think needs to drive it? Pretty interesting answer. A lot of people say CTO, CIO, head of analytics. I've not seen any title as head of analytics in an organization yet, but there's someone who heads that function, right? Typically, it's the heads of that line of business who really knows what analytics is actually giving him or not giving him or her, and they mandate it. So you could see that, and there are several other titles too. It's probably a very indecisive question on that side, right? What is actually anticipated is the rise of another CXO position. It's a rise of someone called a CAO, a Chief Analytics Officer, or a Chief Data Officer, right? People call Chief Data Officer, Chief Analytics Officer the same, pretty much. This person is the person who would be responsible for all data that exists about the business and its transactional stakeholders and its any other stakeholders around the business that govern the business, a customer, a vendor, or anything else, or even sentiment about the business, different sources of data, structured, unstructured, all kinds of data. What is a span source of data about a business? What is noise in the data? What is accurate? What is not accurate? This person will be responsible for a lot of such functions where he's able to get to the business all the data that exists about them so that it's available on a platform for them to harness. he's probably going to drive majority, he or she is probably going to drive majority of those initiatives, big data initiatives. They're probably not going to worry much about the existing EDW and the investment in technology. They're probably actually trying to complement it by adding these technology capabilities to organizations so that they can actually better harness the value of data and take all the nuggets that are available in that business. It's actually going to be a chief steward, actually, in that sense, where he's going to forge a lot of partnerships between business, who probably is a little slow in understanding this value of big data. He's going to be an evangelist. He's probably going to create or pick a few lines of business and then get them going on that. Use that as an evangelist in the organization to say, hey, this is what big data can do. It's going to go to different lines of business, get that done within those organizations or within those departments in that organization, and then build probably an ecosystem, help select technologies, right technologies, because on the technology front, this person's going to have a huge challenge because there are dime a dozen companies that actually do this kind of work. And there are already dime a dozen technologies that are invested in the regular EDW world. Some of these EDW technology investments may have big data extensions. Do you choose that? Do you choose a totally new technology? It's going to help abstract all these decisions by making those things happen so that business is oblivious of what technology actually is getting them the value from data. That's where this person is actually going to help organizations a lot. And we actually see that this position probably is going to come out sooner or later, right? There's already talks about chief data officer in many organizations. Whether that's going to be called a chief analytics officer or not is a question. But CDO or CIO are pretty synonymous to many in the industry. So with that, we come to the conclusion.